Guys, let's talk about some thyroid solutions. A lot of you have underlying thyroid issues and you don't know about it. So the last video I talked about how to identify some of those problems and some of the testing like iodine, potassium iodine testing on the arm. Let's talk about some symptoms here. Okay, so people who do, or some solutions more to the symptoms. People will have their hair falling out, their eyebrows thin on the inner and outer corners. They'll have heart palpitations. They'll feel tired. They'll feel shaky, dry skin. There's so many different symptoms that people are not aware of. You want to look for palpitations in the throat, swollen, goiter developing from not getting enough iodine there. There are foods that help to make the thyroid hormone and vitamins like vitamin C that help getting the T3 into the cell to be used. But let's talk about some reasons why this happens and how to fix it. This happens because a lot of you guys unfortunately have leaky gut. So you might have not been breastfed or vaginally birthed. You might have had some of these when you were a kid growing up or as a baby and a schedule of them. That might be affecting your gut flora. So the gut is a huge part of this whole mess and the actual gut wall integrity. If your gut wall is open and not tight, then you develop problems like either leaky gut. You can go as far as to develop small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Once those holes, those gap junctions open up, your body has an inflammatory response. So the thyroid hormone down regulates. It's kind of like turning that metabolism down to try to kind of heal this body that's under fire. And if you're doing one of these diets, what do? Well, literally, you're going to have to eat every couple of hours as if you have hypoglycemia. That's not forever, so the intermittent fasting doesn't work. It's a whole nother video why and how bad intermittent fasting is, especially with autoimmunity like thyroid or hypoglycemia. I mean, so many people have these issues and then they try to push the fasting. Remember, food is like gasoline to a car. If you're going to drive that car 100 miles an hour on no gas or oil, it's going to destroy the engine. That's how the body works. And a lot of people don't understand that we are not hunter-gatherers. We're modern humans, and we are constantly overstimulated. So that's one of the problems. It's the gut wall integrity, and it's the overstimulation of the central nervous system. Now, Sarah, Carnivore Yogi, and I have been discussing lately people who cannot deal with stress. But it's not just, perception of stress. It's literally people who are pushing on the gas pedal and pushing on the brakes at the same time. For example, I had a client the other day and she's not working. She's getting a little up there. She's older. She's retired, and so she's not working, but she's busy all the time. She's like, I'm just as busy as you. And I was like, well, what are you doing? And she was literally like never sitting down. She's like, I never sit down. She'll like find things to clean or find things to fidget with. That's an overtaxed central nervous system. You guys have to have times in your day where you go and then you stop, relax, digest. Go, stop, relax, and digest. In nature, that's what they would do. They would hunt, come back, and rest. We just keep going. When you fast, you're going. The body's not getting gasoline. It's not getting the equipment, the vitamins and the minerals, the electrolytes to fix the body. And so you start to have back smack reactions. So part of like the most important nutrient for the thyroid is your liver. Not the liver. Well, it is the liver because it helps make the thyroid hormone. But to eat liver, because it has it's got zinc, which you need, and iodine for the thyroid, like I said in the last video. It's got vitamin D in it. It's got iron in it. It's got so many it's got vitamin C, the properties that help with the thyroid, specifically zinc copper balance. A lot of people don't think, they're just like, oh, I don't like it. And so therefore they're just missing out on one of the most important, potent multivitamins coming from Mother Nature, just because they get caught up in first world problems of not liking the taste. But with that said, and there's so many ways to prepare it, so it's not as, it's the iron that makes it have a metallic taste, but I love it. Now, let's continue with that central nervous system. A lot of you guys are stressed out. Stress. Then you don't sleep. Then you don't eat right? Then you have holes in the gut wall. So all of those things work together. Typically when women have reproductive system issues, they have thyroid issues. When they're estrogen dominant, then estrogen gets caught up in that liver, bogs down the liver. The liver is such an important organ because that thing is going to affect making those thyroid hormones and how the thyroid is actually going to function. If the liver is not functioning well, neither is the kidney and then the gallbladder. So that whole biliary duct system can become compromised. People don't think about that when it comes to keeping water flushed through their body. People are looking for other things to drink rather than just freaking water. Constipation, a lot of people develop chronic constipation even before they do any type of low carb diet, and then before they realize they have thyroid. So then you can't get out all that estrogen that's creating a problem with the thyroid hormonal balance. So what you do is, instead of go stop, take breaks in your day. Breathe, meditate. Do some diaphragmatic breathing, which is breathing in, filling your diaphragm with air, letting it out through your mouth open. A lot of people have their shoulders up. Put those shoulders down and relax. Keep the upper thorax, the lumbar nice and straight. People have pronated shoulders, creating a C shape in their spine, pronated shoulders forward, and this squishes the upper body and makes it more difficult for upper circulation of all of these organs that sit here. That affects the thyroid gland. So your nutrition, that go stop going, eat the right foods. If we're talking keto people, don't eat high protein. That's going to bog down the liver because it's going to bog down the kidneys. A lot of people don't understand that they're chronically dehydrated on these diets because they've dropped out their carbs. So I have a lot of videos talking about chronic dehydration because of an electrolyte imbalance, how much that fracks up your organs and makes this thyroid not function properly. So make sure you're taking magnesium, transdermal, oral. Make sure you're getting potassium-rich foods. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And I'm going to do a whole video about magnesium on why some people have a high magnesium status just because they don't get enough calcium. They all work together, people. That's why strict carnivore doesn't work. It just doesn't. And the goal isn't to eat meat. The goal is, because that gut microbiome is also a part of the thyroid function. All foods have different types of bacteria and a bacterial reaction in the gut, all kinds. So when you're just eating mono foods, like one type of food, like beef all the time, you're not getting different types of bacteria which help balance the gut. That's going to affect the thyroid. Everything's going to affect the adrenal system and the central nervous system. So that's my quick, long answer. I'll go more into each section, as in the electrolyte imbalance, as in getting your sleep better, because if you don't sleep better, that thyroid's going to crank down. Basically, if you don't slow that body down, the thyroid will slow you down because you'll be so tired you won't want to move. And that starts here. So here, right? The medulla, the hypothalamus, pituitary, to the reproductive system, to the adrenal, to the thyroid, or here to the gut, to the thyroid, because you're having that gut, the vagus nerve, so the brain here, and it's sending signals, cortisol here, and then it ends up in the thyroid. The problems with being overstimulated with the central nervous system. That's why you need to go stop, take a rest. That's why we need to eat every couple of hours to stabilize the blood sugar and go to bed extra early to help with the whole relaxation of that parasympathetic part of your day. Now I gotta go, guys. I will break it down, and this was just on the fly. So I'm sort of kind of all over the place, but not, because it's basically your gut, the central nervous system, the types of foods, the quality of foods, and if you can eliminate, if you can poop, get out the estrogen, drink enough water, make sure you're hydrated, Also, make sure that the gut wall tightens integrity by stopping the cheating of nonsense foods. Rotate your foods for the different bacteria to help seal up that gut wall. And so it's the thyroid, the electrolytes, the gut, and rest. And then if you can do those things, you can start pooping. Okay, once we get that central nervous system and make sure that the cells are hydrated. Now I gotta go. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com, and I'm out. Energy, energy, energy at 53 and counting. 13 going on 14 years, strict keto. And I really want to go more into using carnivore as a short-term strategy to then go to keto omnivore, and people with hypoglycemia and thyroid issues that cannot deal with not adapting yet, because you have to get your life together, guys. You can't just do a diet and then get the business. It's a process. I have a course at stephanieperson.com. You can sign up for my low carb, high fat, keto, and carnivore course, which is freaking awesome. Or you guys can go and sign up for a consultation, stephanieperson.com. You can go right here in comments and subscribe and all that, or to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and I'm out. Energy 53. Peace, guys.